Hi everyone, it is Kate from the Forward Line. I am back this week with the Sew Down. This is our monthly roundup of stuff we've seen, read, sewn, watched, things that we thought that you guys might find interesting in and around the world of sewing, and a bit of a catch up on what's going on, that sort of stuff. So first things first, before I get going on all the things I've got to talk about, I've got some good stuff this month. We have got, I never know where anyone has found us, but we have got a flash sale on our website yesterday and today. So today's the last day. It is in celebration of Brenda, our lovely printer, who has just moved to a new home. We, up until now, Rachel and I have been doing the printing, mainly Rachel to be fair, have been doing all the printing of everything ourselves, and we've just moved it so that we're not doing it, and we wanted to celebrate. So you can get 10% off everything on the site. The code is Brenda. I'll pop links down below to everything I talk about. But yeah, if you fancy, if there's a sewing pattern that you've been kind of thinking about, maybe today is a day because it's 10% off. And just a little hurrah because, I don't know, it's the weekend. I feel like celebrating for no particular reason. That's why. Next up I've got to talk to you about is the Stitch Festival. So Rachel and I are going to that, which is next weekend. It's in the Business Design Centre in Angel in London. It's basically the knitting stitching show that's had a bit of a rebrand, and yeah, there are some really nice people going. I will pop a link so you can go and have a look if you're interested. I think we've still got a discount that you can get some money off. I think it's TFL 2020. I'll put the code down below. I think that's it, but you can get some money off a ticket if you like to. But yeah, we've got amazing, so many patterns. Actually, maybe I'll show you. Okay, so there's a bit of this bit of my sewing room, this tiny little bit is tidy. The rest of it is chaos because it is full with stock. I mean, actually, I'm going to turn you around. Look at the horror of that. Yeah. So many boxes, it's unbelievable. So much. So please come and see us and get some stock, get rid of some of these boxes. But yeah, I feel like I'm living in a sort of depot at the moment. Every day, every second my doorbell goes and there's another parcel. So that's that. Stuff, I haven't sewn anything really this month. I haven't really had time because of the show. Yeah, so I've got nothing that I've sewn to show you. I did buy something which is really naughty. This top, I just went into Zara with a friend, and I don't usually barely go into shops anymore, and I just fell in love with it. So if any of you, I thought someone might ask if I'd made this, and I haven't. I bought it from Zara. I feel, yeah, really like it, except my boyfriend this morning said that I looked like it looked like it was an extra from Downton Abbey or a French maid. So that was lovely. Don't you love it when your partners say stuff like that? But I like it, so I don't care. Right, I'm going to get started on some stuff we're talking about. Right. First things first, so I usually talk about a couple of independent designers that we've got on the site that you may not have seen before. It's nice to kind of promote them, but before I talk about that, this is like the other end of an independent designer. We have started stocking, and I don't think I've even said, we've started stocking McCalls Patterns. We are eventually, hopefully, going to have all of the big four in amongst all of the indie designers, and they've just gone on the site over the past kind of month, and I don't think anyone has said anything about it. So just if you are interested and you like McCalls Patterns and you wanted to buy that in amongst with your indie purchases, they're there. So they're there for you, and there are blooming loads of them. So yeah, just thought I'd let everyone know. Next up, I'm going to talk about, I've got two independent designers to share with you. So the first one we've got is You Made My Day Patterns. This is, she's based in Copenhagen at the moment, but she lives quite a jet set, well not jet set, but she travels around a lot. She's lived in lots of different places, but at the moment she's in Copenhagen. She's got a really beautiful aesthetic. I think you guys will really like her stuff. So she's got about, what was your 2, 4, 6, like 15 to 20 patterns. She does patterns for kids as well, so she's got some of her patterns you can get in adult sizes and children's sizes. I'll pop some pictures up so that you can see, but I really love, she's got this beautiful it's called the 19th of January overall with these kind of dramatic ruffles around the straps. And she does them in a kid's size as well, which is really cute, and they come in romper versions and things. But I really liked her aesthetic. It actually feels quite French in style, and yeah, some of the tops have got really interesting details on, and I thought you guys might like them. I really like them. They're kind of classic things that you'd like to wear with a bit of a twist. So that is my first indie designer that I thought I'd share. And the second one is another one called indie designer called Untitled Thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of you might have seen and made these patterns, but if not, it's always nice to share. So she has got Brittany's got I think she's got 4 patterns at the moment, and she's got a couple of others that she had printed, but I think that were out in the world to buy, but I think she's taken them off to kind of tweak them a bit. But she's got 4 patterns at the moment. There's a really beautiful dress, a lovely jumpsuit, pair of trousers and a body. I mean, what more could you want from a pattern collection? But she does, the really nice thing, she also does bust cut options with all of her patterns, and she's got a really good size range. So I thought with spring coming up, and you know, we might actually make something with a short sleeve at some point, maybe. I thought you might like this designer. So right, up next I've got a little community challenge that I thought was really fun and I wanted to share it. This one is like just a complete it's just really funny. So it's on Instagram, and the hashtag is dress like a chameleon, and the concept is that you wear something that you've made that's handmade and try and blend in with the background like a chameleon does. But there are some really hilarious pictures on there with people standing, you know, wearing the same fabric as a wallpaper, and yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at. It's a really good one, and I thought it might be quite a fun one if you're feeling like you want a little, I don't know, it's just a bit of a laugh, and I thought it was a really fun, so definitely worth having a check out. Up next I've got something interesting to read, and it's also a exhibition. So this is on the Telegraph, and it's about a lady who, what is her name? It's completely gone from my head. Hang on a second, bear with me. Louisa Purcell, that's it. And she was a kind of unsung hero of British embroidery. It's a really lovely article. It's about how she, you know, her career within sewing, and she did a lot of stuff of designs for churches, and I thought it was quite an interesting idea that the only thing that within a church that women traditionally got to do was the tapestries, you know, for the kind of footstools. She also helped men who had post-traumatic stress syndrome after the war. She did embroidery with them. It's a really lovely article, and she's also got an exhibition at Temple in London until April, so go and have a look. I really enjoyed reading that. Next up, in terms of reading, I've got, I'm sure a lot of you have already got it or saw our interview last week, but the new book from Tilly and the Buttons. If you haven't got it, it's definitely worth it. I can vouch for it. I've had a look through. It's got really lovely patterns. I'll pop a link down below to our interview that we did last week if you haven't seen it, and there's also a review of the book, and you can see some of the patterns inside. But if you haven't got a kind of sewing book and you're thinking you want a new project, I would highly recommend it. Personal recommendation. Next up I have got, oh, this is really good, TV programme, because let's be honest, we all love, I mean, it's quite grisly out there, let's just stay inside, sew and watch TV while we're sewing. So I'm sure lots of you have watched it already, but if you haven't, Next in Fashion, which is on Netflix. This is, it's a bit like Project Runway for anyone who's watched that. So the premise is that there are about 15 designers. They all work within the fashion industry. The presenters are Tan France, who is in Queer Eye, and Alexa Chung, who is, well, I'm sure most of you know who she is. And they are the most wonderful pairing, I have to say, as a kind of twosome. They're really fantastic, and I think there's a lot of British people in it, there's some American people in it, the contestants. It's a really nice bunch, and they really know what they're doing, so it's a really great programme. You will love it, trust me. Just start it and watch it and enjoy. I kind of gobbled it up in over a few days, and not a few days, maybe a week or so, but yeah, really lovely watching. You can totally do it while you're sewing. It was an absolute joy. So next we have got, I feel like I'm charging, I'm gonna calm. Next up I've got stuff to listen to, so I've got 3 podcasts for you guys. The first one is, I think I've spoken about this one before. It's called How to Fail with Elizabeth Day. She is a writer, a journalist. She used to interview a lot of celebrities. She's also written a book, and it's all about how failing in life can help you, become kind of, it's important. We all fail at things, and it's about people talking about their failures. She's interviewed quite a lot of famous people on here. It's definitely worth going back and having a binge. But the episode that I loved was with Marian Keyes, who is an author. I love her books. They're really fun. She's Irish. She's a really wonderful person, and the way she talks about her failures are just really interesting. She's had a lot of mental health problems, and she talks very candidly about them, and I think in the light of what has happened this week, it's definitely worth having a listen to. So it's a really wonderful episode. The next podcast I've got, again, this is just an episode, Desert Island Discs. I'm sure you guys all listen to this, but if you haven't listened to the Zoe Ball episode, it is really fantastic. I would highly recommend it. The songs that she picks, which you'd hope, obviously being married to Norman Cook for such a long time, she's got really great choice of, it's just so good. I really think you should go and have a listen to it. It's wonderful and really nice to listen to because it's a bit of talking, a bit of music. It was a really nice one. So my last podcast I've got to talk to you about is one called the Tortoise Podcast, and it is fantastic. It's long form. The concept of Tortoise is that it's long form, slow journalism, really researched, really beautifully produced. Each episode is really interesting. Some of them are quite political. Each one has a different theme, but the one that I really loved was a 4-part special about it was in the news a while ago, and the lady Daphne Caruana Galizia got killed by a car bomb in Malta, and it's her son looking into why she got killed. It's really interesting and I would just really recommend them. And then go and have a peruse, because I've then started listening to all the other ones after it. Really interesting and really kind of well done. So I hope you enjoyed that. We will be back soon with another video. For those of you that are coming to the Stitch Festival, I cannot wait to see you all. Come and say hello. We'll be on the stand ready for you with hundreds of patterns. So if you're looking for some inspiration, or you're not sure what fabrics you want to buy, come and see us. We'll hit you up with some sewing patterns, and then you can go off and buy. So there's going to be some really good fabric companies there as well. So yes, we will be back soon with another video. Bye!